Hi everyone, welcome back. Let's write some more Leetcode today. Today we are solving count subarrays where max element appears at least k times. So we are given an integer array nums and a positive integer k, and we want to return the number of subarrays where the maximum element of nums appear at least k times in that subarray. And we see that it appears at least twice in this subarray, 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 and in this subarray. So we return 6. And in this example, we see that the maximum element is 4, and you cannot make a subarray where it appears at least 3 times. So we return 0. So now that we have seen some examples, let's get to how we can solve this problem. So one way that we can solve this problem is we can use sliding window. So largest will stand for the largest element in the array, left will stand for the left pointer, right will stand for the right pointer, count will be the number of largest element that we have within the window, and the result variable will be the variable we use to keep track of the number of subarrays where the max element appears at least k times. So what we will do is we will shift the right pointer, and if we ever see an element that is equal to the largest, then we increment count, and we'll continue shifting right pointer until count is equal to k. Then we will shift the left pointer and continue shifting left pointer until count is not equal to k. And then we will add whatever's on the left pointer to the result. So let's say for here, right now the count is 2. Now we shift the left. Now count is no longer 2. So we'll add 2 to the result. And we know we can add 2 because it implies that this makes a subarray and this makes a subarray. So that's why we add 2. So after adding the left pointer to result, then we can go back to shifting the right pointer and continue the same loop until the right pointer has reached the end. So let's go over this example real quick. So first we start the right pointer. We shift over, add 1 to count, shift again, shift again. Now count is 2, so we shift the left pointer. Count is still 2, so we shift again. And now we see that count is 1, so we can add 2 to result, because we know that this can form a subarray and this can form a subarray. So now we go back to shifting the right pointer. Count is equal to 2, so now we shift the left pointer. Count is still 2, shift the left again. And now count is no longer equal to 2, so now we can add by the left pointer, which is 4. So we add 4 to result, because we know that we can make a subarray with this, with this, and with this. So that's why we add by the left pointer. And now we shift the right pointer, but we have come to the end, so we can return 6 as our result. And the time complexity will be O of n, where n is the number of elements in the array, because that is the number of elements we will iterate through. And the space complexity will be O of 1, because we are not using any extra space. So now let's get to the coding part. So first, we will set largest to the max in nums. We'll set the result to 0, count to 0, and the left pointer to 0. And then we will iterate with the right pointer, so for right in range length of nums. If what's on the right happens to be equal to the largest element, increment the count by 1. Then while count is equal to k, we can check if the left pointer is equal to largest. If it is, then we will decrease the count and shift the left pointer. And once count is no longer equal to k, then we can add result to the left, and then we can return result. See if it works. Okay, perfect. Thank you for watching. Hope this was helpful. If you have any other questions or comments, feel free to leave in the comment section, and I hope to see you all again soon.